It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Episode 32 of Two Guys and a Goalie. Dustin Nielsen, Joaquin Gage, Matt Kassian is back. Hernan is still here with us as well. Cass, good to see you, buddy.
Good to be here. Although I told Gage earlier, I'm kind of grumpy.
You are grumpy
today. Well, we flew
because you have to see us.
Well, that's part of it.
Okay, yeah.
Factors in. We flew home yesterday. Got home in a decent time
from OKC.
From OKC. Okay. Then my kids were up at 4 in the morning. So been up since 4.
Well, if it means anything to you, I went to bed at about 5:30. So
good.
So it's
but
all
that's your choice.
Yeah, that was I guess it was kind of my choice.
So I better have a good show.
Yeah. I don't have any excuse. Just gonna be
Jesus.
Time for you to step up, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Two guys
carrying this thing today.
That's two big boys to carry too. Two Guys and a Goalie presented to you by Oddshark. You can visit them at oddshark.com for all of your betting information needs. Scott Hastings from Oddshark will be by a little bit later on. We'll have our Popeyes chicken poll question. Make sure you try Popeyes legendary Louisiana. We haven't had some Popeyes in a little while. Might be due for some Popeyes on Thursday. Maybe to do like a mid-season awards Popeyes chicken show. That'd be a good idea.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
I made Saturday night. I made Nashville Hot Chicken Sandwiches. Actually, turned out quite well.
Now, what goes into that?
So, cutting the chicken breasts and halving them first. Eggs, buttermilk, hot sauce. Let them soak in that for a few hours.
Yep.
Take them out. Let them dry out, kind of, so it gets a kind of a little buttermilk crust on it. And then frying them up with, I just went egg batter or egg yolk, flour, and panko just to get that nice crisp on there. And I put them in the oven just to keep them warm, but then to make the dipping sauce, what was it? I took some oil out of the frying oil of where I did the chicken.
Look at this guy.
And then, what was it? Brown sugar, cayenne, chili powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then after take them out, dip them in that, and I made my own coleslaw, pickles on the brioche bun.
You do your own pickles?
No, I did. I know.
You know what I love doing for those is you just make your own, like you quick pickle cucumbers, like you slice them, use just you can do it quick, so it's not like a full. They're not like soggy, but it's just like a little bit of vinegar to it.
Yeah, I've never tried that.
You should do it. It's awesome.
The coleslaw, I love coleslaw for some reason. I just made a huge vat of that, and I did make a kind of a spicy mayo. And then that was it.
You guys are incredible.
No, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, they were because I actually one of my directors at work took me for lunch the other day, and we went to Chop Steakhouse, and I saw they had the Nashville Hot.
Oh, so you wanted it?
So I was like, "Ooh, I'll try it." And I was really underwhelmed.
Yeah,
I was like, "Man, I can do better. I can do better."
And then you did,
and I did do way better. My Australian friends came over and we crushed chicken.
Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, we did. It was. I could say my house was hot.
We tried a little something from a cooking perspective at our house on Saturday too. My wife mixed a regular box of KD with an organic box of KD, and I couldn't even really tell the difference. It was insane.
Probably the exact same thing. Well, you know what? My Saturday, I actually ate antelope for the first time.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Did you say cantaloupe or antelope?
No, antelope.
Does it taste like cantaloupe?
No. It tasted similar to like
I'm just going to mark down that down. I ate antelope. So how would you kill it on your own? Or how
no. My father-in-law, father-in-law's brother-in-law.
He's really quick.
Yeah. He took one down with his bare hands. No, he's big into like hunting.
Okay.
And like hunting and game and whatever. And so he goes on these hunts and he had antelope and he gave them a bunch. And so we were like, let's eat antelope.
Where do you hunt antelope?
I have no idea.
Yeah, isn't that like in the...
Well, it's not over here. I mean, that meat's been shipped over an ocean, I would think. Right?
I would assume so.
Yeah,
I think they're similar to deer. There's a lot of them.
That's Oh, yeah, you're right. It's probably...
Yeah, it tasted very similar to deer. It was good, though.
Did you have antelope pepperoni?
No, just it was...
I'd like to try that.
No, we made antelope burgers.
Really?
Yeah.
From scratch?
Yeah.
You just took like ground antelope meat and then...
You had to mix in a little beef, just a little bit of beef to get like add some fat to it.
Wow.
So
because it's pretty lean.
Really lean, and then you crunched up some crackers, ground up some crackers in there. Same thing, just it's so lean you don't want to lose the moisture out of there.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd have the balls to do it. I don't like trying new foods.
No, you don't. Hey.
No, I don't. Not at all.
Yeah,
I'd be
that's
like,
weird.
antelope? What? This is, even if it tastes just fine, I'm weird that way.
Isn't Louisiana Purchase still around?
Yeah, they're still around. Their stuff's good. They
Yeah,
got good.
they got alligator
Yeah,
in there.
gator there.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one out. There's one out in St. Albert too. It might be a little
Oh,
closer.
it's
to
just all like
downtown.
Louisiana-based foods.
Yeah,
right
like
here.
Cajun
Yeah.
foods. Yeah, it's really good.
That's kind of interesting. All right. Well, I've learned something new every single day. That's good.
Well, you mentioned the Popeyes chicken. Which
I
is-
did, and
yeah.
all of a sudden well, hey, they're a sponsor.
God, I'm starving right now.
Sport Clip Haircuts. Also, we'll play Keep It or Clip It a little bit later on. Sport Clips, of course, home of the MVP experience. If you're listening to this and you're in the Edmonton area, obviously down in Ellerslie Landing, and if you're listening in other locations, I have a feeling these places are going to be popping up all over the place. So we will get into Keep It or Clip It a little bit later on. We're also going to play Jeopardy again. We didn't do this last week, but I'm going to mix it in every once in a while. And today, and I had to dig a little bit on this, but I think you guys will be all right. Today is all of the answers are former teammates of one or the other of you. So
Oh my gosh.
it's going to be tough for Hernan to get it. Sorry, Hernan. Mind you, the first one you could definitely get. So, yeah, it'll be fun. We'll play that a little bit later on here. And then, of course, Scott Hastings will join us as well. Lots to get to with some guys who've been around the league for a very long time. Also, some of the Apple podcast comments. I've got a few kicking here. Before I forget that, I want to lay this out here for you.
There's one I looked at. It was kind of funny.
Is there a couple new ones? I haven't checked.
Yeah, last week we had comments on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
We did? Oh, I haven't even looked at
That's
it.
an all-time
Wednesday.
run. That's an all-time run. Yeah. Let's see here. This one says, fried chicken is great, but this podcast is better.
Oh, I like that.
Which is pretty big. Like, that's because it's right. Fried chicken is good. Great stories and interaction from all three. And when one of the guys can't make it, the fill-ins are strong third liners.
Wow.
So it's a good shout out to like Gazzola and Sean Bell and stuff.
Huge
who fill in.
wiener? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, huge wiener Gazzola.
He loves. He loves.
You know
that
what we need
handle.
to start to do is we need to start to add things onto that.
Yeah.
So it just gets longer and longer, like huge wiener,
I was-
huge wiener, little body Gazzola. Like
I was going to say, every time he fills in now, I'm changing huge wiener to like something similar, like big dick Gazzola. And we just keep rotating through things like that.
that's a good option,
Unproportional Gazzola? Is that what?
unproportional.
Proportional Gazzola. This one says, love the pod. This podcast is in my go-tos for hockey podcasts, right up there with Spittin' Chicklets, Ray and Dregs, and the Jason Greger Show. Gager is hilarious.
Thank you, Mom.
That comes from Troy Smith Arch, which is your mom's handle, right?
I guess,
yeah,
yeah.
100%. All right,
No,
let's.
my mom can't do it. She's
couldn't do it?
watching this right now, but
Yeah.
she can't do anything on the computer. It's mind-numbingly
She says she
bad.
watches this, so like it's the one thing she knows.
But
hello, Gager's mom.
Yeah, she's watching for sure. But the to get her to try to download an app. Oh, I might record it and
It's
just play it because it's mind.
Okay, but how old is she though? Like that's got to be tough. Was she in her 70s?
She's I think
60?
she's 70.
70?
Yeah, something like that.
I think she's
She's up
70, something like that. All right, let's bring Cass. I want you picked the wrong week to go away with all this shit.
I
that
picked the
went
right
down.
week to go away. Did you look at the temperature
That's
outside?
true, actually. Yeah, that is.
Oh man, I was fine with being in the southern states.
It sure is nice today, though, and it's only going to be better all week. Looking forward to it. But I definitely wanted your thoughts on what went down with the Flames and the Oilers and what could still be coming in today's National Hockey League, from the hits to some of the trash talk after to the suspension for going after Tkachuk. What'd you make of all of it?
I mean, I like how interesting it made it. It makes it way more fun to watch and to experience, and a little bit of angst is a good thing for the game, and I think a good thing for the fans and a good thing for us to sit and talk about it. I'm old school, so I'm kind of the opinion that if Tkachuk is going to lay a dirty hit, which I thought it was, and he's going to be a rat, that every once in a while you're going to cross the line and someone's going to be like, nope. And that's exactly what Kassian did. And I don't expect in this day and age Tkachuk to fight, but I fully support someone going after him if he's going to be a little rat out there. So, yeah, it made it fun. I don't know if I agree with it. He had plenty of time to defend himself and the unprepared and the in on the goalie thing, like with the justification from the player safety department. I kind of was like,
I was trying to head back up ice to go after the puck. Like,
yeah, like I don't know about that.
I feel like they sat down and like, okay, we're suspending him. Now we have to come up
to.
with a way.
Well, that's exactly it. It's like, oh, this deserves 1 or 2 games. Now we have to find why.
Yeah.
Like, let's come up with a reason why this deserves 1 or 2 games because we want to stop this behavior instead of working it the other way around. So, listen, it's good for Edmonton and Calgary because it makes it way more fun to watch. Of course, there's going to be comments after. A lot of history, obviously, between the two teams. So it just, you know what? It just makes it for a little bit of fun for me. Of course, perfect that Kassian comes back the next game against Calgary.
Exactly.
Like he's going to be back. That's great. Would I imagine a lot of fireworks in that game? No.
You don't think so, eh?
No. And the reason I don't think so is just look at the standings and look at how tight it is. Yeah. Guys are going to be a little bit nervous because the refs are going to be on high alert. And the message inside both those dressing rooms, it's going to be being told is going to be, listen, don't worry about it. It happened. It's over. Like, if you get a chance to hit a guy clean, great. Take the chance, but don't do anything stupid that's going to cost your team because the playoffs really are on the line every single night with how tight the standings are in that division. So I don't expect anything crazy to happen. It's just, it's not. Now, do I want something crazy to happen? Absolutely.
Of course you do.
Of course I do, but it's not going to happen.
These are the games where you dress. Right?
Yeah,
like,
well, that's perfect for me. That's the whole reason I've only ever got to play in the playoffs in the NHL was because something crazy happened, and I was like, perfect, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then I got told, like, hey, more crazy stuff's happening because people are shooting off their mouth in the newspaper. So I was like, perfect, I probably am going to stay in.
Yeah.
And I did.
So
then I tried to choke a guy.
Hey, you should say this in the media. And just
Texting one of your buddies on the other team, be like,
exactly.
hey, say this in the media. Say this in the media. Yeah, I'll get to play. It'll be awesome.
Gager, how much do you think? Because I think the Flames play we're not going to spend a ton of time on this today, but I think the Flames play the Blues the night before. And then they get the Oilers, so they would have played a game coming back. The Oilers will be like, 11 days between games or something. How much can just that time sort of kill all the hatred and buzz and kind of refocus everybody?
I don't think it'll
so?
kill any
No?
of it. No, not at all. They're looking at that game now. I think Calgary might be looking at that game now a little bit too much because they've kind of faltered the last couple games there. But no, I like Kass. I do think something's going to happen though. I think there's a really good chance something goes a little bit squirrely.
If something does happen, what do you think it is?
Lucic going to try to fight Kassian?
No, I think all it takes is one big hit, and then depends
on the score. Depends on the score. It could be the old up 3 down 3 start a brawl type of situation.
You don't want if you want something to happen, you want someone up by 5 after the first.
Oh, yeah.
Then that'll be something to. But you do have something there just because the standings are so tight, and this game means so much. By the end of the year, it could be the difference between playing further or going home.
Absolutely ridiculous, the standings right now. And actually, that brings me to another point. I saw some articles pop up. It happens all the time. And right now, I think I might have even retweeted it. There's like 12 teams in the league who have like 58 or 57 points. Like it's insane. Like a third of the league is basically separated by 2 points. Kass, do you like the way the points are dished out now, or would you like to see 3 points for regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win?
Well, it's not going to change because the count is going to be sitting there just rubbing his hands together.
He'll never allow.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
The parity is the best thing ever because with so many teams in it,
feels like everybody.
We still have a chance. Yeah. Like fans are going to be engaged, and they do, and that's what they want. They want parity. They want if you have a couple bottom feeder teams that are out of it, that's okay. It's going to happen. Detroit, Ottawa, everyone else is in it, and it makes it more exciting for the fans and whatever team. So they're not going to change anything.
Yeah, you don't. There's not as many bottom feeders as there were before. I don't think with the. I would like to see 3 points for a win.
Do you think it would make the final 10 minutes of a hockey game better?
That's why I think I would like it more, just because you'd see teams really. Pulling, like Chimera said, pulling their goalie when it got to 1-on-1.
Yeah, that's right.
Like just making games, especially down the stretch here, guys. Teams trying to get that third point for a win, right? So, but I can see them; they'll never change it because there's with the 12 teams all within striking distance. It doesn't make any sense to change. There's no reason to.
Kass, do you think the final 10 minutes of a game would be a lot different?
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better because you have a team that's down.
Especially in a division, right?
Especially in a division game.
And
they get nothing.
Yeah.
That's huge. It ends up being a 6-point game versus a 4-point game. And
I do hate how games in this league are weighted differently. I mean, there's 3-point games and then there's 2-point games. It seems kind of crazy, but it has led to the parity that a lot of people seem to really like, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, look at other leagues where some games are worth more than others. It doesn't happen. It only happens in the National Hockey League, which is kind of insane, to be honest with you. All right, so we've got Scott Hastings. He's going to join us somewhere here today. We're going to play Keep It or Clip It. We've got Jeopardy Teammates Edition. We're going to get to that as well. Gager, you texted me over the weekend. You're like, how many goals does Ovechkin have since Chimera came on? I think he'd had a hat trick, or he had 2 goals before he joined us. Yeah. And then he's had back-to-back hat tricks since then. He's got 8 goals right now in the last 3 games. He's 3 behind Pasternak now. And it just... I have no words to describe Ovechkin's goal scoring ability anymore.
I was excited to talk to Jason about just Ovie and how he is and how ridiculous he was in practice and all that stuff. But like when I asked him the question, does he think he could break the record? And he was like, I kind of think he can.
He was pretty adamant about it.
He says he's in such like good shape and he doesn't get, well, knock on wood, he doesn't get injured and stuff. And that would. I think that would it would be close to, well, for Canadians anyway, watching Maguire and Sosa trying to.
So good.
That was so good. I mean, I don't know if you can juice the pucks for Capitals games, but
Ovie can juice though. Juice the person.
Yeah, I think there's a little juice in there, orange juice.
Here's James Duthie. James Duthie tweeted this: if Ovie gets 18 more goals this year, which is probably pretty likely, he's got 34 right now. These are the totals he would need over his last 6 seasons to break Gretzky's record: 50, 40, 30, 25, 20, 20.
He can do it.
That seems pretty reasonable, right? Like,
especially since as he goes, he's going to be, and people have said this, he's going to be scoring less on the rush, and he's just going to be posting up. But he's so good from that power play spot. It's like he doesn't have to move.
He can get 20 goals.
Yeah,
as a
he can get 20 goals. As a 39-year-old playing on the power play from his spot, can he get 20 goals? Absolutely.
Yeah, well, when Chimmer was saying too, it's like most power plays, they say they need movement, but you look at Washington, they're kind of stagnant, but they've been together for so long. If they can keep that power play together, I think it's just I think he will get 50 this year. It's next year. If he can still pull off that 50, then I think that's over the hump, and then 40 and then 30, 20, 20, that's I could do that. If I was Ovie.
If you were Ovechkin. If you were Ovechkin, for sure. Of course.
But he's got to quit. He's got to go to some All-Star games, though.
Yeah,
he's getting rest. Yeah, he's getting rest.
No, what is that game? That could be a hat-trick game.
Oh, because he's going to have to miss a game.
He misses a game.
He's still going to get 50. he could go on a stretch where he scores 20 in 18 games.
Maybe it's a 15-goal game.
Wouldn't that be something else? Pat Kane. Actually, no, I want to go. This will tie into the players poll because the Athletic pulled 400 players in the National Hockey League. And there's a few things worth discussing, but the Ovechkin one was... Ovechkin was the one that most players wanted to have a beer with. 14% player that you like to drink a beer with. 14% said Ovechkin. 12% said Crosby. 12% said Joe Thornton. Keith Yandel got 6%, and Brent Burns was 5%.
Pretty funny.
Who was the best guy that you guys played with just to go out and kind of have a bit, like not get sloppy, but just to go, if you go back in your career, go have a beer with one boy again, like who would it be?
What's your criteria for sloppy? Because there's different levels of sloppy.
Not me this weekend.
Okay. Jeez. Kass?
There's a couple good guys. One of the best, and no one else probably would say this, or not like here, if you wouldn't have played with them. Andrew Brunette.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There. Bruno would be, he was pretty fun. Bruno was pretty fun.
He scored one of the biggest goals in Minnesota Wild history, too. He beat Patrick Waugh to knock off the Avs in Game 7.
A couple of them.
I think that was him.
Yeah, shoot. I enjoy drinking beers with everybody. So
you know what it is? The answer is you.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe
that's what it is.
Maybe you know what? You know who was fun to? I'm just thinking for Oiler wise. Jason Smith was really fun.
Really?
Yeah, he would. Because he would go really hard and not a lot of stamina. Good coming out of the gates though. and then
just done.
And you know what? Mosser was good. Mosser was having a beer with Mosser. Joey Moss is fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He would. Sparky would take him over to the Forum Inn sometimes for beers and give Joey the non-alcoholic ones, and Joey thought he was just crushed.
I love it.
It was great. Oh, Joey Moss. What a beauty.
Okay, the athletic player poll, best player, 63% of the vote was for Connor McDavid. McKinnon got 17%. Crosby got 15%. And that was basically the only three answers. Pasternak was 1%, and Jack Eichel was 1% as well. What's
What
wrong,
about
Chris?
Austin Matthews?
Actually, yeah, him not getting a single vote probably is just ripping out the hearts of people in
just
Toronto
tearing
right
them
now.
apart.
Yeah. Do you think McDavid at 63, is that what you would have thought? Or do you think it would be higher or lower? Or
I
what?
would have thought he would have been a little higher.
A little bit higher?
I think
70%
Yeah,
range?
I thought 70%. Crosby probably a little lower. Like I thought Crosby would be actually significantly lower at this point, and McKinnon would have been a bit higher, and McDavid a little bit higher.
Actually, didn't we talk about this with Chimmer on Thursday? Because Lola said McDavid's the best player in the league, and you guys said Crosby
Yeah, but we measured it on the whole.
Yeah.
Right.
on the championships.
Yeah.
Okay, the Game 7 of a Stanley Cup final. Aside from your own goalie, who do you want starting in goal? 33%. The man that Kass once scored on twice in a game, Carey Price. Are you surprised at this stage of his career he's still that guy? Now, it's only 1 out of every 3 players, but still.
That's still pretty high.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. He
it's
is so technically sound.
Oh God.
So technically sound that and he's so calm. And you think for a guy heading into a big situation, you want a goalie that is calm, that instills that nature to the rest of the players in the team. And yeah, he's still really, really good.
Yeah, I played yesterday, and I was trying to move around like Carey Price, and I can't at all.
You just be too slow
So
getting
you
everywhere.
like,
No,
no, trying
it's
to
just-
slide like he does, and then like
He looks so fluid when
Yeah.
and I'm all jerky and nasty and
you're old school though.
no, well, yeah, I'm old school, but I still can go to the new school once in a while, and even with time and moving, I can't do it like he does. He makes the way he moves, and he doesn't look like he's going that fast, but actually he's moving really quick because I tried it. It takes me a year to get post to post like that. It's brutal. I was kicking around in the corner. Oh, it was awful. 1 goal.
Was this rec league?
I play with the U of A guys on Sunday afternoon. It's one of the best skates in the city. If you can get onto that one, it's awesome. That I think I told that Eric Christensen.
Yeah,
he is out there. He's a really good
Old
player.
crusher.
Oh my gosh,
He has
told me.
so much skill.
Holy smokes, he's got a boatload of skill. I think he hit the bar 3 times in one. Like we just play games to 5 and then switch, and he out there and he ripped it like ding, like really loud. It was like oh god, and then he rifled it shelf on me one time, and that was a really good shot. It was like yours that you did on me, but from further out and way louder ding. And then, but I did give him the old Cape Breton shuffle one time. He kind of smiled at me because he came out the side and I had my legs wide open and I could see him and he just looked, oh my God, and he shot it there and I closed him real quick. And he was like, whoa. It was pretty good, but he's an awesome player.
So giving somebody the 5-hole and taking it away is called the Cape Breton Shuffle?
I call it the Cape Breton shuffle.
You came up with that when you're playing in Cape Breton, or?
Yes, I did.
I feel there's more to this story.
There has to be.
No, that's called the Cape Breton Shuffle. I did it in Cape Breton. I called it because I was playing against. I don't. You know what? I don't know if it was Paxton Schulte. He's in the city too. No, it wasn't him. It was another guy, and I baited him with it. He came out, and then I actually opened my legs and closed them, and then opened them up again, and then it messed them up, and then he shot it at, and I closed them, and they were like, "Peter, what are you doing?" I go, "That's the Cape Breton Shuffle."
I think we have a name. Well, we got 2 good options for names for the podcast so far. All right, so I'll have to find out how the goalies actually.
I gotta remember who I said that to because I've talked to them in the.
They say, are you still doing the old Cape Breton Shuffle?
Well, they probably don't remember, but maybe if I brought it up, I could confirm that I call it the Cape Breton Shuffle.
Well, clearly you call it the Cape Breton Shuffle because you just spent the last 10 minutes calling it the Cape Breton Shuffle. So.
Well, I might start a goal school called the Cape Breton Shuffle.
The Cape Breton Shuffle Academy of Goaltending.
Yeah.
God, that's good. All right, so should we play Jeopardy, or do you want to have? Should we go to Hastings first? What's up to
Let's
you?
play Jeopardy.
Okay, I'm going to need my phone then because I emailed it to myself, but I can't access my email on this computer without my phone. All right. So once again, you know how Jeopardy works: 200, 400, 600, 800, and 1,000. These are only your teammates. Okay, but you might be able to get like each other's, like if you're paying attention. Buzz in. If you get it incorrect, you lose the points. Hernan, of course, you play along as well. And we'll see where this.
Hernan, you're playing too? He can play.
Yeah. I'm like the dum-dum of the...
Do we have a shitty producer category?
If Hernan beats you guys on Jeopardy with your own teammates, then we're never playing Jeopardy again.
Well,
Never.
You're hungover. Hernan, you're hungover too, aren't you?
Yeah, I am
okay.
a little bit.
50%
Cass
of the
is
podcast.
I'm
sleep
just tired.
deprived.
Sleep deprived.
I should roll this
You
thing.
should roll this thing. All right, here we go. This is who wants the board first?
Well, Gager's
who
the
won
reigning
last time?
champion.
Yeah, Gager's-
Remember,
Oh, okay.
I threw away like $1,000 and then I got the
Killed
last
yourself.
one. And
Yeah, but you're right. It didn't move you back up. All right, Gager. So the board is yours. You want 200, 400, 600, 800, or 1,000?
Let's go 200, poor man's Alex.
All right. All right, everybody ready? Hernan, be ready too.
Yeah.
This is probably the only one. Well, you might be able to get other ones. Here we go. This former
Chicken. Sorry, I had to.
give him the negative 200.
this former teammate of Gager's joined us on the podcast last week.
Buzz!
Who is Jason Chimera?
Who said Buzz first?
I did.
He said Buzz first.
Yeah. Jason Chimera.
All right, but we won't.
I gotta
minus
say
the-
Buzz. I hit the table. Okay,
say
I gotta
Buzz.
say
We
Buzz.
need some actual
All right,
buzzers.
so Hernan has 200.
Yes.
Nice work. I'm not going to minus 200 from you because he said Buzz first. All right, Hernan. Yeah, I think maybe for the first time ever, the board is yours.
400.
Ooh, good one. This beauty led the Oilers in goals in 2000 to 2001.
Buzz.
Yep.
Who is Doug Waite?
Let's minus 400 for Gager.
2000 to 2000.
This was the season you played, I think, 5
Yeah.
games of duo. He led them in goals. Waite led them in points.
Oh, I know.
Jason Arnott.
Minus 400 for Kass.
Yeah, I know.
Hernan
I'm going to buzz 2000, 2001. In goals?
in goals. You're going to hate yourself if you don't get this.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who it is now.
Yeah, of course you guys do. It's obvious. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Smith.
Yes. Got it.
You have to. Hey, you didn't answer properly.
You
Right.
didn't say who is right.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
you guys
Come
don't.
on.
And you're minus. And you're minus 400, which puts you.
Don't you have to say? Do you have
minus
to
200.
say the answer like Alex does in a
Yeah.
real
What
condescending
is-
way? Like you hate dumbass.
Oh, you want me to be?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No,
okay,
you
all right, that's
idiot.
good. All right. Unfortunately, Hernan, the board is still yours. What are you going with?
600.
All right, 600. Here we go. For 600, this former first-round pick of the Habs scored 16 goals as a 19-year-old in Montreal before joining Kassian in Minnesota and Ottawa. Yeah.
Who is Danny Heatley? Oh, no, I didn't play with him in Ottawa. Idiot.
My God, that's a bad answer. You're
No.
the only one who was going to get this.
Yeah, you are the only
Oh,
one.
I went quick because I figured someone else
Oh,
would.
buddy. God, you're minus 1,000 again.
Oh, that's horrible.
Any other guesses? This is a tough one. I thought Kass would get it, but
In Montreal.
Oh wait, let me think. First rounder to the Habs,
scored 19 goals.
19
Got 16
goals.
goals as a teenager in Montreal
and then played with you in Ottawa
and in Minnesota.
and Minnesota.
I know. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check it here. I'm scared that maybe I got it wrong now, but don't look. Don't look.
I guess Heatley wasn't drafted by it.
He wasn't drafted by the Habs. you were
I just
way
went-
off.
I just
Yeah, no,
went-
this guy,
yes.
he played with Kass in 2 places.
That's the sleep talking
All right,
cast.
we're
That's
going
all right.
5, 4,
Oh, I know who it is.
3, 2, 1. Aaron Kass, who
I
was
think I know who it was.
Who was it?
Was it Guillaume?
Latin dress.
Latin dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
La tendresse.
I remember as a young Habs fan when he scored that many goals as a teenager, I was losing my because he was pretty physical too back then.
Yeah, he was a hefty,
Yeah.
hefty individual.
Yeah, he was.
Little Guy.
All
Yeah,
right.
I did. Yeah, I would have had to think
All
about
right,
that
so
one.
Kass is minus 1,000.
I mean, I got it eventually.
Gager's minus 400. Hernan is plus 200 after also losing 400. All right, board is actually still yours, Hernan.
What? 800.
800. Here we go.
Here we
For 800, guys. I don't know if you guys can. Well, maybe. During the lockout shortened season in 2012-13, This D-man had more points than Erik Karlsson in Ottawa and spent this past Christmas with Dusty in Davos. Go ahead.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Andre Benoit. No.
You're minus
Lockout.
1,800. You are crushing this right now.
I'm killing it.
Oh man.
You're tired, though. Your kids are up at 4 o'clock.
Why can't I get this? I should be able to get this.
You're the only one who has all of our wits about us today.
You repeat the question.
This is gonna bother me.
Well, you know what? I will repeat the question.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
During the lockout, are you Googling stuff over
No,
there?
no,
Hernan?
no. My hands are.
Your hands up. During the lockout shortened season in 2012-13, this D-man had more points than Erik Karlsson in Ottawa and then spent this past Christmas with Dusty in Davos. I would have never thought this. It blew my mind when I looked at it today. I need to cast knows it again. You should just wait. These are your teammates. These guys aren't going to get it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think was it Patty Weirkosh?
It was Patty Weirkosh.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a good buddy too. I'm a dummy.
Does he listen to the podcast?
Well,
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Sorry, Patty.
But yeah, Gonchar had the most points in the blue line on that team than Weirkoch was second. Karlsson was hurt though. I think he only played like 17 games or something.
Oh,
Well, that was when he got his Achilles intentionally sliced by.
Yeah.
Ah,
Mr.
that's
Cook.
right, Matt Cook.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last one. I don't think any of you have a chance, but 1,000. Right, here we go.
for the win.
In 95-96, Gager's like, yes.
Good year.
Only Doug Waite scored more points for the Oilers than this forward who had his best and final year as an Oiler.
Buzz.
Yes.
Andre Kovalenko.
No, and you didn't answer it in the format correctly,
sorry.
but it's also not Kovalenko.
Say it again one more time.
In 95-96, only Doug Waite scored more points for the Oilers than this forward in his best and final year with the team.
I think I know.
I'm gonna go with
Jeopardy is fun, but
who
we suck.
is Chernak? I don't know. Whatever.
Cass, go ahead.
Who is Vin Diesel?
Look, Zdeno Seeger.
Zdeno, see, I knew. Yeah, that's who it was. Zdeno Seeger.
He had a freaking awesome year, too.
Yeah.
He must have been playing with Waite, eh?
Yeah,
He had
it was
to,
him
right?
and Arnie played together.
Yeah, 31 goals, 39 assists, 70
What did I
points.
say? Chernak?
Chernak.
Yeah.
You guys realize
all my Czech buddies blend together with my Slovaks.
I mean, I got everything eventually.
Yeah,
Just took me a few minutes.
I still
is
think
great.
I should have got Smith because it wasn't going to be Jason Smith, obviously,
You never know.
right?
You shouldn't. There's no way I'm giving you Smith. You can't just answer Smith. It's
No.
Jeopardy. You think Alex Trebek would allow that to happen?
No.
Never. So let's just recap this game of Jeopardy. The only question we got right was he was on the podcast last week.
We got great memories. They're just they're really short.
I gotta go with easier questions. I think that's
No,
probably.
we need to step it up.
No, we just
Probably
need to.
We need to be better.
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
be
You think
better.
so? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I feel-
None of us
I feel
is
kinda
winning.
bad, but-
None of us is winning the trivia award.
Hey, you know what?
Next
It's a
week.
pretty good time killer anyway, too. So let's,
It
let's
really
keep
is.
that
We'll
rolling.
keep that one around. So Scott Hastings from Odd Shark is going to join us. Popeyes poll question. Let's do that right now, Hernan, because we were talking about it earlier. I wanted to get to it there. Try Popeyes legendary Louisiana chicken today. So many locations. Everywhere I drive now, there's a Popeyes location here in Edmonton. Listen with Ovechkin heating up here. Who will win the Rocket Richard Trophy? Pasternak, Ovechkin, or Matthews? It's kind of become a 3-horse race between those guys.
Are we just, these are the only three we can pick, right?
Well, you can pick somebody else,
Yeah.
but I think everybody else is
Oh,
like
we can stay with these
10
three.
goals back. But
Yeah. You know what? Well, after last week's recent events, I'm going to go with the Mad Russian. I think he's going to win. How many times has he won that? 9 times?
twice as much as anybody else has played in his
so,
generation.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say Alex wins this one this year.
I'm sticking with Pasternak.
There you go.
He's got the lead.
you haven't come around yet, eh?
No. Well, come around to what?
So he's gonna win it. I said a month and a half ago he's gonna
no,
win.
I haven't come around that he's going to win it. He's going to be awesome and a lot of fun to watch, but I
Yeah.
don't think he wins it.
You
I
don't
think,
think he catches him?
No, I think it's going to be close, but Pasternak still ekes it out.
Hernan, what are you saying and what are the results saying? Oh, he's on the phone. For my money's on Ovechkin, by the way. We're going to talk about that a little bit here with Scott Hastings, and he joins us momentarily from Oddshark. Didn't join us on Thursday because we had Chimera in studio for the full hour, so he was nice enough to join us today instead.
I'm just going to say Matthews, and then I'll give you the poll results.
Matthews?
Wait a second,
Seriously?
stop. You can't just slide in I'm just going to say Matthews.
He's on a tear, too. Like, he's scoring every game. He's getting multiple goals.
Only at home, though. Doesn't he crush it at home? I think he's okay on the road, but he's sick at home.
I know it's not the popular pick, and then just
That's
listen
the least
to our
popular pick.
It's the Merce.
Poll question has 467 votes already. 64% for Ovie,
Yes.
31 for Pasternak, 5 for Matthews, and we got a lot of write-ins, and it says McDavid and Draisaitl for a few.
I just don't see it. Gager, who are you going to pick if not one of these three guys? Because you were like, hey, what if...
I think Leon, after this break, getting some rest, he might squeak back up in there. But I don't know. That's what I was kind of leaning towards, maybe.
Bye weeks. Let's go there quickly. Is Scott's ready to go? Okay, we'll give him 2 seconds. Cass, as a player, do you love the bye week? Do you
As a
hate that?
player, you love it.
You do love it?
Get a week off.
What would you
Get
do?
a break.
What would you do?
On mine, I guess it was Olympic break on mine.
Okay.
That last one.
Take off somewhere?
Yeah, we went to the Bahamas for 5 days.
Nice.
Oh,
That's good.
that's nice.
It was nice.
That's real nice.
Gager, where would you go on a bye in the middle of a season if you had one?
Where wouldn't I go? Well,
Back down to Mexico?
yeah, I would try to go somewhere warm for sure. But a ski vacation's nice too. When I played in Germany, there's breaks all the time because all those cup matches. So my wife and I, we'd rip down to Italy and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not far there, right? Like
No, it's
perfect.
10 hours
That's
or something
good.
on the train.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
all right. So is it for the break? Because like the Leafs are going in the break, not playing well. Oilers go into a break, playing really well right now. Cass, is it? I mean, would you rather be hot going into a break and then have a chance to cool off after, or would you rather be like, okay, we've lost 3 in a row, let's just reset and start over? Like, is there one way or the other?
You want to be hot going into it.
Yeah.
You
What
don't
if
want
you
to
come out and you lose 4 in a row and you're like, damn it, break killed us.
But at least you didn't have a sucky break.
Yeah, you're not worried.
You're
about
not worried about it, and
that's true. Those guys are. Anybody who goes into a break with like,
you can actually get some
Yeah.
rest. You're not just sitting there stressing the whole time.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a great way to go into a break. A 1:00 game with a massive win. Oh, yeah.
Because then you head out that night and you need a
yeah.
break. Yeah,
Early.
All right.
Pitter
I
patter.
like that. All right, Scott Hastings from Oddshark.com. They are the presenting sponsor here of Two Guys and a Goalie. Visit them for all of your betting information needs at Oddshark.com. Scott, appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot for joining us. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me back. And it's not as nice as Bahamas or Mexico, but we'll make it nice.
We were just talking about it. It's our poll question today. Who will win the Rocket Richard? If you were putting a little bit of a bet down on Pasternak, Ovechkin, or Matthews, where are you going to toss your money?
Well, the obvious pick is, I'd say Pasternak off the top. It seems he scores absolutely every game. That top line of him, Bergeron, and Marchand, it's just incredible that no team can stop them. That, like, if you can stop that top line, Boston is very beatable, but it seems like an impossible task. Preseason, I said that Matthews would score 50 goals, and that's looking pretty good. So for the value, he's probably your best bet. Ovie, he's so sporadic because he'll go on these stretches where he scores 3 goals, 3 or 4 goals every night for two or 3 games in a row, and then he'll sort of go quiet here and there. So I would go Pasternak. He's a favorite, and there's no slowing him down.
You said you had Matthews for 50 at the beginning of the year. Did you bet on that?
Yeah. His goal total, I believe, was 40 and a half.
Ooh.
And then I made a friendly wager with a buddy of mine. I was like, he's getting 50, and he's like, he can't stay healthy. I think he's doing just okay, and especially now that Sheldon Keefe has been at the helm there, Matthews has just been rolling.
I've got one buddy who bets all the time on just, if Brock Besser will score a goal in this game because the odds are good. But and I like betting on sports too. But for me, betting on individual guys to score, I mean, maybe it's more of a crapshoot than betting on anything else. But do you ever bet on just individual goal scores? And is that something that pays good enough to take the risk on it?
It's a very interesting question because a very common betting thing for football is touchdown scorers. Everyone seems to love it, and there's a lot of money to be made. But hockey, it's almost frowned upon because it's a crapshoot a lot of times, and many of the players aren't even listed on the odds board. I think there's times that you can make that bet, and one example was Sidney Crosby in his return to the lineup there last week. I thought of it every single time he's come back from an injury, he scores a big goal. There was the goal against the Islanders a few years ago when he goes backhand shelf and just looks incredible. And then it was almost automatic. I forgot to bet it. I had it written down, but I just forgot to do it. But, those are the type of things I look for, is an impact player that makes his return. It seems that they almost always find the back of the net in one of his first two games. So when you're getting it at almost 2-1, it seems like not a terrible bet, but I think you really, really have to pick and choose. And a lot of the top players, like an Ovie or a Pastrnak, a lot of their props will be to score 2 goals, and that I think is a dumb bet.
Yeah, that would be like even the best guys, Gage, really don't score.
No,
2 goals very often.
You'd be screaming at the TV a lot with those things.
How did he not get 2 goals for me? Like that's like the episode of Seinfeld where Paul O'Neill needed to hit 2 home runs.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. How do you just stay away from the Pacific Division right now as far as betting? I mean, top 5 teams are separated by 2 points right now. Any one of those teams can beat any one of those other teams. I mean, how are you supposed to approach that if you're somebody out here in the West who likes to put a few bucks on games?
Well, I think the number one team that I've been hitting recently is those Oilers. We talked the last time we talked, they were underdogs at Montreal, and we were all scratching our heads, and hopefully we all hit that one because that was one of the easier underdog bets we've seen this year. I've just sort of been looking for the most value underdog plays when they play in that division, because as you said, it's a crapshoot. So many competitive teams that they could win at any given night. So I think you're just sort of looking for any home dogs or a team that maybe is coming into a little bit of a hot stretch. Just go with the underdog. It seems like the best way to go there. Those Vancouver Canucks have been killing me all year. I thought they were going to be one of the basement dwellers, and there they are, top of the division. So I have a few grapes towards the Canucks right now.
That's all right. Scott, appreciate the time, man. Always do. We'll catch up later in the week.
Excellent. Talk to you then.
There you go. That's Scott Hastings from our presenting sponsor, OddsShark. Visit them at oddsshark.com. The Pacific Division is nuts. I mean, you have to think, and maybe not because we're already past the midway point, but you have to think like one of those teams drops off before the end of like the last 2 weeks, don't you? Or does this come down to like the final night and 9 different scenarios?
Or there's just an injury. Maybe like Quinn Hughes gets.
It's going to be like a shootout to decide it.
Oh, man.
It's going to go to a shootout.
A 3-person
who gets in and who is not in the playoffs.
In 2 different locations
Yeah.
at the same time. Multiple shootouts decide the Pacific Division, which would just be insane. Before we play Keep It or Clip It, I have this down here. I don't know if you guys saw it. Matt Murray got the old Bronx cheer in Pittsburgh after giving up a couple of goals. There's a guy who's won 2 Stanley Cups for your franchise. They actually came back and beat Boston in that game.
Did they?
Yeah. Gager, how many times did you?
That was going to be my question.
Oh my gosh!
No, and I mean, how much does it rattle you?
You'd think I grew up in New York. It was just like being at home. It didn't really bother.
It doesn't bother you?
No.
Do you think it bothers some guys though?
Well,
I mean, Patrick Waugh asked for a trade.
Yeah. I usually, if people were booing, it was warranted, right? Like I didn't win Stanley Cups and Vezinas, so I wasn't the heart and soul of many NHL teams, so it didn't bother me that bad. I mean, even I told you this. I remember when I came back in 2000, 2001 and with the Oilers, and the start of the game, and I'm starting in goal, Joaquin Gage, and it wasn't boo, it was just, oh. It was just I was like, are you kidding me? So, but
didn't even care enough to boo.
No, it was just like, oh. Yeah, it's like your favorite TV show was canceled that night or whatever. It was brutal. But no, it didn't really bother me. Sometimes it can get you fired up too. I'm one good save away from them loving me. That's what I used to tell myself. Oh man.
Kass, would you ever? Did you see Omar in the KHL All-Star game?
I didn't see
He
it.
played net in
Yeah.
one of the
Did
games.
he?
Yeah, and he won in a shootout. He made a
Come
save,
on.
glove save to like win it right at the end. Would you ever throw on the pads? Like what about?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Well, I loved playing, and I still will. I guess I haven't in a number of years, but playing ball hockey, I love playing in net.
Really?
Loved it.
No way. So you play like all the time?
No.
Oh, but just once. Oh, just like playing street hockey.
Street hockey with buddies.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of your size, or
No, it was just fun. Just
love
something
playing
different. Then I didn't have to run.
we were a goalie short at hockey on Friday. First time in like 7 years. We roll in, and the guy's like, "All right, why other goalie's not coming?" He's like, "But we have equipment." And I'm sitting there, and I played for 6 years as a kid up until I was like 15. And part of me was like, oh, that might be fun for an afternoon.
Yeah.
And then I remembered I did it once, like similar sort of scenario about 10 years ago. And I hated every single minute of it. I couldn't get up. It was a gong show. So it sucked because I could have done it. And then we had to go out and play with a shooter tutor for an hour, which I felt bad. I felt like I let the guys down.
Yeah.
You did.
I know
Dusty,
I did.
you did.
I know I did.
I think the only time at my first year pro, Tyler, we had a rookie party the night before, and we had practice the next day, and Tyler Wright went net, and he wore gear. God, that was funny. And Tyler was a really good skater, but you wouldn't been able to tell the way he was playing goal. He was just awful. Wow, that was the only time I saw a player actually, and guys were shooting hard. Like
Guys would absolutely rip.
Yeah, guys were like taking clappers
Right by his ears.
Oh yeah,
right by his ears. You're
Just
just laughing at the
ding.
guy.
Oh, it was hilarious. God, that was funny. I actually got locked in it's bringing back bad memories. I had too much to drink at the rookie party, and I fell asleep in our players' lounge in the Center 200 in Sydney. Like lights out. Arena shut down. I woke up later in the afternoon. Couldn't get out. All the lights were off.
You were locked into the place?
Yeah. And I had to find the rink guy was gone for a while, and I had to wait like an hour, and he came back, and then I could get out.
And you weren't a rookie?
I was a rookie.
Oh, you were a rookie.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were a vet who just got
No,
hammered
no,
at the
no.
rookie party. All right, let's play Sport Clip Haircuts. Keep it or clip it, where it is good to be a guy. Home of the MVP experience. Try to work some things around the league and maybe some non-hockey stuff here as well. Let's start with this one. Kyler Yamamoto will be a second-line winger for the Oilers for the next 5 years. Keep it or clip it.
I am going to keep it because I said hi to him the other day, and I said good luck, and he goes, hey, thanks. Now, he's a nice young man. I think the future looks bright for young Kyler.
I'm going to keep it. I think every time I watch him, he's just a smart player. And you put him with skilled players. He's learned how to navigate the more physical game against stronger guys now, like playing pro than in junior, and I think he stays there. So, yeah.
For a small guy like him, is being smart the most important thing? Like, he gets around well as well, but if you're not thinking it, you're done.
Just
right?
like really big guys, it's the same thing. It's just on the opposite end. You still got to think the game well.
Does he's quite explosive too. I didn't think he his first two steps he's pulling away from guys too, I think. So
players should not be punished for skipping the All-Star game. Keep it or clip it.
Keep it. I hate when guys get
If you don't
it should
want
be
to
an
go,
optional
don't go.
thing. Don't go. It's not. I mean, maybe in your first couple of years, it's your first All-Star game. Yeah, it's going to mean a lot to you. But to a guy like Ovie and stuff, he doesn't want to go. He wants to win, score goals and stuff, and take that break. Not have to. I mean, it's probably 3 days of partying too. So
Yeah, listen. So there I don't know how many times you hear it, and you hear it from the NHLPA, and you hear it from whoever, and from the media and from the fans. It's just, your superstars are the ones people go to watch, are the ones people go to see. They're the ones that get paid the huge, massive salaries. They get paid to go to this game. Like, you're not getting nothing to go to the All-Star game. Yeah, absolutely, I'm keeping it, and they should get punished. I actually think they should get punished more for not going to the All-Star game.
So what would you do?
Do another game, 2 games. Make it actually mean something more than just the one. And And it is because it's for the fans, and not all the fans watch. Local fans do, and people go. But
Big corporate event too for the league.
big
right?
corporate
Like,
event for the league. Big, opportunity, sponsorship opportunity for the league. Chance to make it fun for the fans and exciting. And you are the marquee players. You get your butt and you go to that event and you smile and you have a great time. You tell people you're having a great time. You sign a lot of autographs. You have some fun. And you do your job, and your job is to be a superstar and the face and the representative of the league. So get your butt there and do it.
Okay, well said. But let me ask you this: what if they put something in where, like, if you've been 5 times, it's optional after that? Like, you've already kind of done your thing, you've done your time.
But it's in different
wanna
cities every
reset.
time with different fans that want to see different players. Like, these superstar players do different things. Like, I go like with you just don't whine about it. Be grateful and go.
Punishment's not stopping them now, though, right? Ovechkin's still.
That's
like,
what I
I'm
mean.
not
You
going.
should be more.
Yeah,
Make it 2 games.
interesting.
Yeah. Good.
I just the
Good
business
take,
side
Kass.
of it. It's just it actually bothers me when guys don't, because I'm like, you better believe I'd go.
I look at it from let's say it was here, and my son wanted to see Alexander Ovechkin,
Yeah,
and Ovechkin didn't come.
be
I get it.
disappointing.
From that point, like from a parent perspective, that'd be kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
for sure. That's true. All right, the Leafs will be the busiest Canadian team at the deadline. Keep it or clip it.
Man, I haven't really thought about this. I would say keep it, just with Morgan Riley going down now. I think they need another goalie too, a backup. I think, like, if anything happens to
Anderson plays a ton.
Anderson,
He's
that's-
showing some fatigue signs.
Yeah, they need, if anything, just to break and keep their head above water there. Riley, yeah, I'd say they're probably the team most looking to do something. I'll keep it.
I'll keep it. They're most likely to be the busiest, although I don't think I don't think anyone's going to be that busy.
Can I say trick question and answer Ottawa?
Well, yeah, that's what I
Wow.
was thinking too,
Okay.
because they're.
But I think in like teams that are
greasy, but yeah.
legitimately looking for the playoffs.
Yeah, I looked at it from a team trying to make a difference going into the
Yeah.
playoffs.
All right, Hernan isn't a shitty producer, but we should keep the nickname anyway. Keep it or clip it.
Keep it. He laughs every time we say it over there, and we get, like, there was a comment on the thing. One guy said he loves when Hernan laughs because it's kind of in the background. I like it too. It's good. It puts a smile on my face.
You know what?
He's shitty.
You know what?
Well, the basis of it was because we went live, and then we had you guys. It just wasn't centered. Like, Tommy
it
was
bad.
way the hell over there, and then I was like, "That's a shitty producer. I should have did that before we went live."
It's true. You're right. That was a really bad move.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip it because I'm the nice guy. I'm not gonna want you to feel better about yourself. So.
Oh, thank you.
Of course
Matt.
you're going to clip it.
That's good.
Okay, Ovechkin scores 50 goals at least 2 more times after this year. Keep
Clip
or
it. Clip it. He gets once. One
he
more.
gets
One
one more?
more. Uno más.
If I was a betting man, I'd say clip it. Yeah, he's got one more. That can't. God, if he did 2, jeez.
If he did 2, he's on cruise control
Yeah.
for the record.
Yeah.
His last.
Or what I say, gauge control.
Okay, so in his last, he's got 34 goals in 49 games this year. And then going back, he had 51, 49, 33, which was a really weird year for him.
Yeah.
And then 50, 53, 51. So he's had 50 goal seasons in 4 of his last 6 years. And he's going to get it again this year, which is that's nuts. All right, Rocky 5 was by far the worst Rocky movie of the original 5. Keep it or clip it.
Which one was 5?
Tommy. isn't
Tommy
it?
Gunn Morrison, he's the trainer. And
Yeah, that was.
it never really served a purpose for me.
No, clip
No.
it or keep it.
Keep it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
keep
that
it.
was the brawl in the back alley
In
there.
the back alley, he
and the
beats
poor man's Don King gets punched and,
yeah, poor
and Rocky's broke. Sue me.
And he had a bad relationship with his son, and
Oh,
it was just a
yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
His son was jealous of Tommy Gunn, and
That was his real son, isn't it, in that movie? I think that's his
I'm going to
real
lean
kid.
towards yes. I think that's true, but I'm mostly just guessing.
Yeah, I think it was.
All right, all 3 of the Oilers, Canucks, and Flames will make the playoffs. Keep it or clip it. As of right now, are they all 3 in? I think they're all in.
All
Yeah,
are in.
All 5 of those teams in that division are in, and the Jets are actually 3 points out of a playoff spot right now.
I'm going to keep it. I'd love to see all the Canadian teams in it. Hopefully, the other ones can falter. I mean, what did Taylor Hall have? -5 the other night? So He's
I was gonna leave that for you to bring up.
so yeah,
He
let's.
was -5.
Yeah, let's
you
keep
know what?
it.
I think he just needs a fresh start.
Another fresh start. Yeah.
Cass, what do you think?
I'm going to keep it.
Wow, wouldn't that be
Yeah,
something?
that would be something. I
be great.
think
Western
we
Canada would be
see the
nuts.
Vegas Knights slide a little bit.
You think so?
I think they slide a
You
little
don't think
bit.
the coaching change was the right thing to do?
I don't think so.
Seems
Not
weird,
after
didn't
what
it?
Chimmer said. Like he had some good things. He had
He
what's
liked
his
Gallant,
face?
yeah.
Gallant and
It kind of came out of nowhere.
yeah,
I don't know. Did you guys talk about that?
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked. It happened.
I didn't listen. I took
yeah.
the week off.
We understand.
didn't
I
listen to
mean,
you
I
guys.
wouldn't listen to us either. Okay, that one question in there we asked last week. I don't know why I left it in. Here's the other one. Nathan McKinnon is the Hart Trophy favorite right now. Keep it or clip it.
Keep it. The amount of injuries that they've had there and where they are in the standings, how well they're playing. You know, they had some young players that we expected to do well, like a McCarr, but
Who's been great?
He's been
good,
great.
yeah.
He's real good. Overall, I think they are where they are because of him, and he is the leading candidate in my mind.
Yeah, you're right, Kai. I'm going to keep it too. Just he hasn't. I'd say Connor, but
'Cause
Connor
Ranson
has
been hurt, right? Ranson
Yeah,
was hurt, and he's kind of just.
Connor's had guys healthy, like Leon was healthy throughout the whole year, and he's had extra help. Not that he plays well with everyone, but yeah, McKinnon's had to do more with less. So
Hernan, how would you answer this one?
Yeah, I think you got to go with McKinnon.
I didn't think we'd be unanimous on it.
Yeah,
but
just all great points. I mean, so many injuries in there, and they still remain to win games. And they're always in every game. Like, you see them blown out maybe once or twice this season, but that's about it. But McKinnon's legit, man.
I wish I could watch him more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, like.
yeah.
Best producer ever.
Oh, you need to relax. God, next thing I know, he's going to be pulling out like a present you brought him from like OKC just because you love him so much.
A keychain or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Barbecue sauce.
That would be great.
That'd be great,
I think
yeah.
that would be all right. All right, so there you go. Let's keep it or clip it for our friends at Sport Club Haircuts, where it's good to be a guy, home of the MVP experience. A couple other things to get to. I had a heavy weekend. I had some friends come up. Let's just dish out some life and friendly guy and fatherly advice. A couple of things here. One, am I a good husband or a shitty husband that I had a hotel for the last 2 nights? So I didn't have to go home, being drunk. My buddies didn't have to stay there. But at the same time, even though I was in town, I was basically MIA for 48 hours. Good move or bad move?
It's an unbelievable move, is what it is. That's. I am shocked at that.
I don't know how you got away with
how
that,
did you
to be
do
honest.
that? Like the trust level. You're in the circle, the tree of trust at home. Yeah. That wouldn't fly, eh, honey? Not a chance.
My wife might be watching too. and
Wow.
I'll tell you the year. Excuse me, a rough night. The year that we stopped coming home after going to watch the NFC Sunday games, we were in a 2-bedroom apartment at the time. We just got married, and I come home with my buddy Riley and our other buddy Gwyn, and we get home, and we had a ton of McDonald's, and the music was going, and my buddy Riley has this tendency when he's drinking to like just gear right down, like just buck ass naked. So Gwen and I are sitting on the on the nook in our apartment eating nuggets, and Tammy had to work Monday morning, and the music's going, and she comes out of her mom actually lived like the floor below in the same condo.
Jesus Christ.
So Tammy comes walking out, Riley's dancing on our coffee table nude, and Gwen and I are like eating McNuggets, and she comes out and she goes, "I'm going down to my mom's to sleep." And I was like, okay. And then right away the next day, I was like, hey, so what do you think about us getting a hotel from now on for this event? And she just never looked back. So,
But 2 days.
yeah, well, because they come in Saturday.
Well, is there any other days of the year that you do this with your buddies?
No.
So this is like
He comes up here once a year. It's an annual thing.
Well, if you plant the seeds early, I didn't plant them well enough or early enough. Yeah, that shit's not growing.
That is true. Okay, so then here's the
Not
other
that
thing.
I'm trustworthy. I'm a responsible adult, but if that was in front of me, that'd be tough.
Here's the other thing. So my buddy, same guy who was dancing nude in the apartment at Force Hotel nights, he was my roommate last night. I went home a little bit earlier. I'm sleeping. He comes home. He's super drunk. I'm like, hey, buddy, come on in. Yeah, I'm just sleeping here. Like, I'm just sleeping already. So let's go to bed now because I want to sleep tonight. Because to be honest with you, it's some of the best sleeps I get because I'm not up early with the kids or going to work or whatever. And he turns on his iPad with the speaker and the tunes and the lights on. And I'm laying in bed and I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll give him 45 minutes and he'll just pass out and we can all go to bed. This went on until 5 o'clock this morning. I laid in bed for 3 hours being like, dude, like, can we go to sleep here at some point? And then finally, I got up at 5:15, got an Uber, and went home and slept in my house. So who's the bad friend here? I bailed on him. He was in town. I left him at the hotel. Or should he have just come home and gone to bed so I could have actually got some sleep because I had to do a podcast today?
What do you think, Kass?
Are we passing judgment on who is worse in this situation?
Pretty much. Who's worse in that situation?
I think there's blame to be had on both parties. Ultimately, though, you know what, Dusty, you made the commitment to stay in the hotel room with your friend, and
you should have stayed.
You should have stayed. You made that. I feel like there's like you had permission to leave.
I did
your house, like, and stay in a hotel, and you bailed on your friend.
I almost went and got another room. I almost went down and was just like...
See, that would be more acceptable, I think.
Maybe that's what I should have done. What do you think, AJ? Now I feel awful.
No.
Even though he was being a dick.
No, this you can turn a negative into a positive here, I think, somehow. I would gas the friend because...
I've been buddies with him since we were like 12.
Yeah, and he's inebriated at this point.
Not when he was 12. But yes, he was.
I would try to get home and snuggle up to the missus and say I missed you so much, and I'm home.
Hey, just so you know, that's not going to work either.
No. Well, I'm not saying it'll work, but it might just say, oh, he missed me. He came home and yeah.
No.
Yeah, nope.
No? That doesn't work?
I don't think I could have spun that one.
No.
And I'm a guy who can go away and stay in a hotel in town for 2 weeks.
That's
or 2 days.
in town. In town. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it, Kass. Good to have you back, buddy.
Good to be back.
And good to have the whole crew back together this week. That's going to be good. That's going to do it for episode. What are we going with here?
I think the Cape Breton Shuffle.
I like the Cape Breton Shuffle.
Cape Breton Shuffle. That's good. Episode 32, the Cape Breton Shuffle.
That thing fooled about
I'm still
3
not
or 4
really
guys.
clear as to what it is, but
I'll show you when we get out on the ice.
It has to do with opening and closing legs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we know.
For our presenting sponsor, Odd Shark. Kass, you're so filthy. You're always a filthy
man. We were so clean.
For your shitty producer, Hernan, and Kassian Engager, I'm Nielsen. Thank you to Sport Clips. Thank you to Popeyes. Thank you to Odd Shark. Thank you for downloading it and listening or viewing it on Facebook. We appreciate it. Episode 33, the Patrick Waugh edition. That's my guy. On Thursday. We'll be back then.